I want to save the file at.
Yeah. Just put in your downloads.
We're good. Yep.
Good evening, guten tag. Whether bienvenue,
Bonsoir.
Cheerios and Cheerios and what up to the folk.
He drinking.
This is a very special show. It's actually apple juice. Thank you very much. It's apple juice. I am Kid Gravity. This is Beyond Borders. And today, Beyond Manor has opened up its palatial doors for a very special and hopefully very educational exhibit of Black intelligence. Because tonight we're going to talk about preference. And we all know the word preference around Black folks, especially in the dating scene, is very hot button. For us on Beyond Borders, we do not stray away from any topic, no matter how controversial it is. So, tonight, it will be me in one corner to explain my position. And on the other side, when you see this or hear it, there are more than one skin tone gender, aka Black women, here to give their positions. And I'm sure ideas will be exchanged, and I'm somehow going to get yelled at, but that's okay. I'm ready because I have 2 laptops full of research that I'm ready to go. But before we start, we're going to allow the ladies to introduce themselves and plug their podcast before they get so mad at me that they forget. So whoever wants to start, you may start.
Okay. My name is Nikki. So I'm mainly on Instagram. I'm Nikki G _ moving with purpose. I do motivational speaking, poetry, raps, quotes, and trying to get people to move forward in their purpose, break free from toxic situations, to do everything that they have to do for them. A lot of times when we have stuff we're going through, we don't have an outlet. So if you guys don't have an outlet, let me be your outlet. So that's mainly what I focus on.
That is beautiful.
Welcome.
And y'all should follow her because she drops some knowledge, especially about God. And y'all know me about God, but I listened yesterday. You stop
Thank
it.
you.
Rose, you stop it. There's nothing wrong with your throat. So we're going to allow the other young lady to introduce herself and plug her podcast. She froze.
I think her connection is really.
No, not again. No.
She back.
Wait, she just moved.
No, I'm here.
Okay, good. Very good. Because this is going to be awesome when I edit
Okay.
it. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I'm Kristen. I just started my podcast, Personal Problems Podcast. It's pretty much just me doing shit talk, either about stuff that's going on in my life, or my guests might talk about stuff that's going on in their life, or they just feel that the world needs a reality check and there's something we need to bring up. And so I'm on Instagram as well. So Personal Problems Podcast.
That is what's up.
One word?
Yes.
Yes,
No,
all one word. All one word.
All one word. Yes.
All one word. 3 P.
Problem with plural? Oh, one problem.
Personal Problems Podcast. If it was a personal problem, I don't think everybody would listen to it because nobody wants to hear about people's personal problem. I don't think. They want to hear how
well,
you
you'd be
covered
surprised. A lot of people have problems they feel are personal, and we're all going through it.
That is true. See? That's one side. That's one for y'all. I'm down 1-0 already. I got yelled at. Oh, that's okay. I'm used to getting yelled at by Rose, so it's going to be fun. Okay, let's get into it. Now I'm going to show my age. I'm 34, so I'm old. Whatever, I'm old. Okay, I still look young, but I'm old.
Go ahead.
And I have liked the opposite sex, I want to say since 3rd grade. And as we get older, the things that we like do tend to change. That's fine.
Don't come out on this show. Please do not come out.
What do you mean don't? What? Oh, Rose. Anyway, as I was saying, we're going to talk after the show. As I said, our preference changes. as we get older. For some people, not everybody. But as it gets older, this changes. Sometimes people embrace it, sometimes they don't. Kind of like when black person brings a white person home. Sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't. Depends on the family, depends on the person.
Correct.
So over the past, I want to say, how long has social media been active? About
Since
06?
what? 06, MySpace. I think that was a major one.
So we'll say for the advent of, we'll say the last 17 years. We'll start in 03. That's when Facebook and MySpace came on the scene.
Okay. I don't think it had a Facebook back then, but
Well, remember, Facebook back then, you needed the Gmail. You needed to have a college ID to get in.
correct. Yep.
So with the advent of social media, we get to put up pictures of everything, put up posts. Everybody puts up intellectual stuff. And here we are 17 years later. Someone puts up a post of themselves with the opposite sex or the opposite race. And it does elicit feelings, whether positive or negative. That especially the last 3 years, we have seen an uptick in negative posts about people's dating preferences. So I'm going to turn the mic over to the ladies and see if they've ever seen this or if they've had any experience with this. And then we'll dive in and as I defend the brothers. So who wants to start?
Feel free, ladies. You're on.
Wow,
You guys
dude.
are the
I
day.
guess we're gonna have to do this like school. I'm gonna
I'll
have to
start.
I was about to say,
Yes,
I'm gonna
feel
start
free.
picking on people. I was about to start
Like,
picking on people. Go ahead.
like I've seen it like on social media. In my opinion, it's nothing wrong with that. Like as long as the person, regardless of what religion they are, what race they are, as long as they're treating you how you should be treated, like they're valuing you, they're loving you the right way, they're not disrespecting you, there's no form of mental, emotional, or physical. That's the thing. A lot of times people get fixated on, wait a minute, you're with somebody that's like a different race. What's wrong with you? Like, do you not know your culture? Do you not know where you came from? Do you not know where you were possibly going? Like, you know, there may have been times back in the day where there was slavery or it was like unheard of for people to be like glorifying that you're with a different race. It's nothing wrong with it, but everybody's going to have their opinion on it. But nobody's going to be able to walk your shoes or be in a relationship. People are always going to have input on what you're doing. They can't walk in your shoes. So at the end of the day, if they want to have an opinion on the fact that there's something wrong with you dating outside your race, that's okay. Just do you, whatever makes you happy.
I like that. Kristen, you want to go before I jump in?
So I did. My first child is actually from an interracial relationship. I went outside of my race. Back when I was younger, I didn't care. I was like, love is love. Do whatever you want to do. And I know for a while, I did have a preference of most of the time choosing outside of my race just because I knew how the boys were acting when I was in school and high school, and they also had their preference too. So I just felt like, well, if y'all want to go out that way, I'll go this way too. And just from my past relationship with my child's father, I know I won't be going in the white direction anymore, but I don't oppose other people going outside their race. I know for me, I don't mind it. I don't care. Like, well, I only like one option. I don't like my own. Like, I don't get why you don't like your own. What happened? What's so traumatic that happened to where you can't like your own race? I don't get that. Even when I have white friends that say it, like, you know, I need some color in my life. What's so wrong with your own race? What's going on? So that's what I've always been curious about.
All right. She brought up one of the main contentions, but we're going to talk about that in a little while. Miss Rose, go ahead, please.
Well, I think social media is late or was late. You know, you said 17 years of social media. Interracial relationship has been happening throughout the state for many, many years. Mm-hmm. So we started having interracial babies and interracial relationship way before social media. Let's remember, everybody here, that in 1958, right, Mr. Richard Loving married his wife here in the District of Columbia, and that was legal. And it became illegal as they moved to Virginia, where interracial marriage was not allowed. what happened is that incident brought to a Supreme Court case, Virginia Loving versus Virginia, that banned all interracial relationship. I can hear myself coming back. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
So interracial relationship happened way, 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 way before. So I think the better question to start this is, why are we seeing an issue now? Is it because it was not on TV? Was it because it was not portrayed? It was not seen. People were marrying other people in their home and it didn't really matter. What is the issue with today's society that 1958 and 1967, that's when interracial marriage became, well, the law banning that became illegal across the board in the United States. What is what we're seeing today wrong versus what happened back then?
Okay, let's answer. Well, if you remember, the first interracial couple that was publicized, besides Loving v. Virginia on TV, was on the Jeffersons with the Willises. And people had a large problem with that. So much so that they got death threats because nobody wanted to see that. But then it started slowly. And now she left. She come back. She probably.
I think it's her network.
Yeah, probably. But anyway, now we're here 2020 and you see it everywhere. That's a lie. Don't shake your head. Because y'all's favorite show, Dead White People, started that. What's that?
Oh, I was shaking my head for something else.
Oh, okay. I thought I said something wrong already.
Is that really my favorite show?
No, not yet.
One of them, because I saw a lot of black women promote that show when it first started. And that girl was promoting a lot of pro-black stuff, and then she was sleeping with a white guy, and then people found out.
She makes herself dull.
What that mean? Wait, are we gonna get into that? Don't worry, we're gonna get into that. So back to what you were saying, that the media likes to promote that, but they only like to promote it a certain way. They only promote it when it involves you guys because it's more widely accepted than if it was one of us doing it.
What does that mean? What is you guys?
Black men.
What? You guys, meaning a black woman dating
black men. No, black men.
A black man dating a white woman?
Not even just white women, non-black women.
Is that what you say? Does it have more attention, attention or not?
No, it has more negative attention to it.
But the funny thing, that's the majority of interracial couple, though.
Yes, and
so why is it not filling?
You know why? Because, and I'm going to knock the brothers here, it's our line of what we've been doing since civil rights ended. I'm sorry, but we haven't done enough social cachet for us to say we can go do this. Because
come again.
We don't have the social cachet to be able to do what we want without being scrutinized. See, white people built shit, so they're allowed to do whatever the hell they want. They'll get criticized, but by and large, people will still leave them alone. Y'all see us coming for y'all daughters, the first thing they'll say is they're going to leave you with a kid and go out and go have more kids, or he going to be in jail. So we have a lot of negativity coming to us before we even get into the relationship that we have to fight through. But considering the fact that they've propped y'all up a lot and saying that because you guys have been holding down the community, you guys are seen as the victim. So anything you do, they're not going to scrutinize it really. So I think that's how.
I don't get it. If you guys, the brothers, are facing more hardship than we are, the ladies, then it should be more black women marrying white men. But the opposite is what is prohibited. So are you guys really facing something, or okay, we don't see that. Sorry.
How many black men, non-black women do you see on TV?
We're not going to stay on TV. Now,
that's a good barometer of what's going on, because remember, that's
a lie. Because TV, we know TV's pushing agendas.
That's what I'm
All
saying.
of these
But
people have their own agenda, but that's not the reality. And we know that's right, because for someone who always do their research,
mm-hmm,
besides TV, that's
mm-hmm,
not true. I mean, I have not seen that on TV, but I could tell you, I live in a Hispanic neighborhood. I have
mm-hmm.
not seen a sister here with a Hispanic dude, but I've seen a whole lot of brothers living and being married with Hispanic lady.
We can go there when I bring up the dating site stats, but I want to let
Yeah,
the ladies chime in on what I said.
go ahead, ladies.
I feel like a lot of times it, like what you said, Rose, I agree with you on that. I feel like a lot of times when you're like, even on the media, or whether it's on the TV or not on the TV, a lot of times if it's men that are, with women of a different race, they focus on, and they're like, yeah, way to go, you did that. But I feel like with a woman, when we are with somebody that's a different race, they come in. They come at us a little bit heavy. They're like, yo, wait a minute, what's wrong with you? You're a sister. Why are you not with a black brother? Like, what's wrong with you? Whereas with the men, I feel like they glorify a little bit more. Like with us women, people like put the focus on us a little bit more. Like, it's like, what's wrong with you? You're not with somebody, you're not with a black brother, then people questioning you with this and that. But I feel like with men, especially men that are athletes and that are in the entertainment industry, that's what you see a lot of, especially these days. You see a lot of that.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
For me, I guess it's the opposite. Like I'm trying to think of any like just social media or anything where I see more Black women with non-Black men, and I can't think of anything. And I don't think that they would get any slack. I don't know. Like for me, I'm like trying to think, where have I seen that at? The only thing I can think of is Girlfriends, when Tony was with her guy, but they didn't let that relationship last for a very long time. And so it's kind of like, are we saying that she was too powerful to even be with somebody that was non-Black because he can't deal with her and what all she's got going on? I feel like with the Black man, with the non-Black woman, well, he's got a status that he's built up. And so it makes sense that as he's going up, he's going to change the scene that he's seeing. And so they don't get slack. It's just like, oh, well, good for you for making it. It makes sense that you would get with this non-white woman because you're in the arts and you don't see any Black women here, or you're in the athletic area and you don't see any Black managers or anything in this field that's a Black woman. You're going to see more non-Black women. So I don't know. I don't see any, for me in my world, I don't see any slack, or any negative stuff to them, towards them. Maybe behind their back you might hear some things, but I've just noticed trends from it makes sense that he might go in a certain direction just because of where he's leveling up in his life. And if you think about in the media, these people that have these careers, I mean, they've got a certain type of career that they have that matches up more parts, or the non-Black counterpart parts.
Mm-hmm. That is a great point that you're bringing. But I can tell you.
Mm-hmm. What's it?
I mean, like you mentioned, being in an industry where you don't see Black women, or at least where you don't see, your Black counterpart. A lot of these athletes don't marry, other Black athletes or the white athletes. They marry, I'm sorry to say it, just regular women. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean, regular
met in college, probably.
Yeah, someone they met in college. I mean, they don't necessarily have to be in their field.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, you don't, if you're looking at entertainment, they're not necessarily marrying another actress. They just marry someone, I don't know, model, a regular chick. That's why I'm just saying. It's not necessarily where you heading and the people surrounding you. It's just more so of, all of these women they're marrying, even if you're looking at cheerleading, they have Black cheerleaders in college and NFL and in the NBA and all of the other sport. It just so happened that, hey, if they want to go that way, they will. They're not necessarily in the same field, meaning for the lack of seeing, similar, race up here, therefore I would default to date here. I don't think profession had to do with anything.
Okay. So your contention is that you guys get more slack than we do?
I feel like we don't. I feel like in my family I did when I was in my relationship, but society-wise, people be like, "Oh, look at y'all, so progressive." I feel like the black man still does.
I feel like I think as a black woman, like I said, personally, I wouldn't get any slack. I went over Rambo and everything else. Dated every
Did
single
you just say
race.
Rambo?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you did Rambo?
And back and forth, all the color I dated.
Wait,
If you had a race,
wait a minute. You did Rambo?
okay, he making fun of me, y'all.
You said
got
Rambo.
you see that? What is it?
But wait a minute, you said
Whatever,
Rambo.
whatever. Move on.
Okay,
So-
okay. You said Rambo. I'm just trying to understand.
I'm not dealing with you.
Which
today.
one? 1, 2, 3, 4, or the last one? Which one?
Are we cussing on this show today? Because I really want.
We don't listen. This is
Quiet.
about preference. We want to speak honest here. This is going to be an explicit show, so you can say whatever you want.
What I'm saying is, I don't think black men get any backslash, to be honest, and I don't think black women do the same. Now, it's not for real. It's not because you guys.
Wait, I can refute your point, but I'm gonna let you finish.
What you do, kid, is take one case and amplify it.
I didn't take one case.
You amplify it, and
I didn't take one case. I did not go to one case. How many times have we talked about this?
But
I gave
once
you more
again,
than one. Go ahead.
If you guys are getting the more of the backslash, as you guys are mentioning, you guys shouldn't be the majority in interracial couple. How is that possible? I mean, the math just doesn't add up.
I'll add it for you because like she said, we're women of every race and ethnicity wants to be around that, which is why you see. I said us as black men are typically mostly athletes and entertainers, musicians, people in the arts where money is to be made, and including business too. So women want to be around that because that's a form of power. Which is why, especially in hip hop, you see basically every ethnicity in there. And also, when you see those ethnicities, you also see an uptick in baby mamas of every race. Mm-hmm. Now, back to your point, when you said that black men don't get enough slack, I've given you several advantages. I've given you several examples over the years. Number one, your favorite guy, Robert F. Smith. He did the Morehouse thing. What did our women go at him for? He dated and married that white Playboy model. Mm-hmm. If it was the other way around, nobody would have said anything. Okay. Michael Jordan. He left his wife. They divorced. Okay, he cheated. Whatever. Got with the Spanish girl. Gave him slack for it. Michael Coulter went on Wendy Williams. They booed his wife. And she's white. She did nothing. She wasn't even on the show. How do you boo that woman? People. Okay, I'm gonna have to word this right.
Okay, maybe let's say this: the majority of people, of black men dating non-white, non-black women
is very small. It's very small. It's about 7%.
Come again?
It's 7%. Us marrying black women, non-black women, 7%. By and large, we marry black women at 88%.
Compared to what?
Compared to
what's the percentage of black women marrying white men?
It's around 3.
Thank you. So you guys doubled that number.
Yes.
There you go. So once again, let me finish the point that I was making.
Okay.
So what you're essentially saying is say on camera, when these prohibiting black men go on social media, on networks, they do get backslash for their dating preference. But in real life, what really happened is the brothers are okay.
Why am I going to hate on the next man for who he's dating?
The brothers are no. I'm not saying you.
No,
nobody,
I'm just saying.
No other black women come for them because you guys are 7%, and which is almost the double. What I said?
Double the interracial marriage rate.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Those are the number you gave.
Yes, no, but I'm saying what you just said before that. Are you sure about that? that we don't get backlash.
I'm looking at the number, brother. If it was an easy way around,
Because they
then the
love
sister-
touting that we have the higher divorce rate.
you guys divorcing women, so I guess that whatever rate is on your
Which is
end
funny
on my
because
end.
women initiate divorce 70% of the time.
Thank
That's
you.
just
So
funny.
maybe y'all can blame that back on us. I don't care.
We not even going. Nah, not tonight. I'm not blaming y'all for nothing because I'm 3-on-1. I'm gonna get yelled at. I'm not blaming y'all on nothing. Nope.
I think the bench too has a part is also doing part to like not necessarily say like people that are well known in the entertainment industry, they receive more backlash as well. But if somebody, whether you're male or female and you're in an interracial relationship, people are always going to have input, like personal wise, if you're not in that type of industry. Right. So it can vary between both. But I think that when it comes to the males, it's seen not too much as a bad thing. But I feel like women usually get a little bit more uptake. But it varies with both.
You would get more
just based on
your own people.
Wait, what'd you say?
You would get more uptake from your own men if you did it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But us as black men, we get it from everybody.
I see the brothers in here, man. They're happy. There's like 3
okay,
or
yeah,
4 of them.
That's fine. No, that's fine. They're happy, but again, I may be seeing it from me being in New York and being on social media a lot. I see the shit. It is bad. Like Todd Gurley put up a picture of him and just a white girl. It wasn't even his girl. She just asked for a picture. He took a picture. Sisters went off on it.
Let's go ahead with your research. Come on, I want to hear some of what you.
What else you need? What
dating side? Come on, hit me with one.
Oh, you want? Okay. So eHarmony. Wait, let me pull this up.
Let's go.
So eHarmony, right?
Did you sign up for it?
Huh?
Never mind.
Wait, so no. What did she say? See, wait, y'all. Are y'all gonna tell me the truth for what she said, or y'all gonna say it in girl speaking and it's gonna sound nice?
He's married. Sorry, y'all. I'm just.
I am married, and I love my old lady.
I know.
I do. But I'm not gonna lie.
Shout out to Slick Bribri.
Yes, I did have relations with a Russian woman, so I can understand.
I don't need to know what you do. You're nasty.
Okay, this was like 12 years ago. Calm down. It's okay. I think everybody dabbles once in.
And that's the part too that I would bring up. You know, the dabbling part. People do want to feel like that sometimes. You know, I've had friends that told me, you know, I can't die if I haven't tried this. I'm like, damn, is that serious? Like, that's actually in your bucket list? But okay, fine, I won't judge you. That's cool. Do you?
Yeah,
but people
don't worry. I'm
bucket
going to ask y'all
played.
about that question when y'all say, oh, dude, when he dates a white girl, he hate himself. But when a black chick dates a white man, she's expanding her options. We finna talk about that.
We're gonna talk about it. Let's go.
See, she laughing. She know what I'm talking about. She's heard this. I think. I don't know why she's laughing. Maybe she's laughing. Tell me I'm full of shit. She might have been laughing. Tell me I'm full of shit. But
come on with those numbers now.
Hang on.
Oh, you were ready now.
I shut the computer off.
Okay. With the excuses.
Okay, here we go. I think it's this one. Yes. Dating. What dating culture looks like. They don't check for us, by the way. I just want you to know that.
Check for who? You?
They don't check for black men like that.
Oh.
Okay, here it is.
Can y'all pay? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No. Go ahead and say it.
I was gonna say, can you guys pay for it? I mean, I think it's
pay. What?
Is it a pay service? eHarmony, don't they have paid membership stuff? I ain't got money for it. Dating should be free, man.
Nah, you go on Plenty of Fish.
Hashtag free dating.
Wait a minute, all the black people go on Plenty of Fish anyway, so y'all go ahead.
I think I heard that thing scary.
It is scary. It is scary. That can get you killed on there.
Exactly. Come on, kid. We ain't got all that now.
All right. While I'm loading this.
And that shit might not have improved your point, but go ahead.
No, it might. You got this girl laughing at me right now. Man, girl. This is what she does when we have guests. She always turns the guests against me. Okay.
You didn't do shit. Come on.
What do you mean I didn't do shit? All right. I don't know what happened to the page. I'm going to keep looking for it. But dating. From the stats that I saw, Now we all know we tend to stay with our own, black, black, white, white. But every now and again we move over to the other sides just to see. So for us, according to eHarmony stats, we are not seen as favorable across the board, including our own women, which is sad. Now, this data was in 2015.
I got a 2020 updated one.
All right, let me hear it then.
I'm listening to your outdated one. I just wanted to warn you because you call out the year, so I wanted to call back mine. So
yes, I'm not gonna lie and say it was 2020 when it wasn't. I can't find it. Damn it.
That's probably why it was too old. Shoot.
It's 20. Listen, wait a minute. Don't do that. Don't you do it, because when they run around with that stat about y'all the most educated, that was from like 2010, and
exactly.
Y'all still run around saying it.
No, I don't. They need to update that crap.
I don't. Wait a minute. While I'm looking for that, how do y'all feel about that stat?
I don't care. Even before they came out with that crap, I ever thought that it was not true. But I was like, okay, it's research. How can I dispute it unless I do another research to prove it's wrong? I can't just say, from my surrounding, from my little piece of the word here, it's not true. So I took it, but I never believed it anyway. I don't know why girls still saying that. I think,
because they saw somebody say it and figured it was gospel, because Forbes picked it up and then Bossa picked it up. And then what was the other
research actually behind it.
Yeah, but see, what they didn't read was your degrees are amongst Black people. You guys get the most. And you guys also have the highest what's the word? Average age of women going to school, which was over 30. So if you add all those women into it, yeah, you push people. You're the most enrolled, but you're not the most educated. But I don't know.
Did they have a specific?
Huh?
Did they have was there like a certain area where they designated it from, like for the African American females? Were they from a specific area? Like were they from DC? Were they from Philly?
It was all over the country.
It was all over the country.
All over?
It was all over the country. Yeah. Okay. That's why I said the most educated women in America. Most educated women in America.
Okay. Was it like a cutoff age or like a start off age?
That's why they got the stat, because they looked at everybody that went either enrolled in college or they went to a secondary school and just added all the numbers. Okay. So so you guys had the numbers, so they just ran with that.
I mean, we can say it was skewed, but I really didn't believe when it came out. But when people start telling me, you got to check it out, for real, it's for real, I was like, please.
They still saying it. And it's like, but most of y'all are not even in your field.
Okay, go ahead, but leave us alone. Go come back to your 2015 research.
I can't find it.
Okay.
I don't understand. I can't find it. I had it. I should have bookmarked it. That was my fault. But tell me your stats while I still look for it.
So there was a research done in 2020 by a doctor. I'm not sure if it's a doctor, but Chuang. It's called Racial Minority Attitude Towards Interracial Couple, and is on Psychology Today. So it's actually an article, and then I share at this site. What, you got a problem with that? He's legit.
Oh, it's just burping.
Oh, I thought you.
Damn. Okay. Okay, I'll cut my camera off when I have to burp. I'm sorry.
So they conducted a research, and they had Black participants, and this really focused on minority. Mm-hmm. So this is from the perspective of Blacks and Asian. And the scale was 0 to 100, real quick. So if you were 0, meaning you were cold and didn't like an idea, so that was like the negative feeling. They use what they call, I love that word they use, feeling thermometer or something like that. And then if you were 50, that was the neutral. And then if you were 100, that's where you're warm, which means you're positive, you're feeling positively about that thing. And so they researched, Black men, and once again, it was just minority. So it's Black and Asian. So Black men show roughly equal warmth for both Black black male marrying white women and white male marrying black women couple. When it came to black women, Kid is right. We were warm when it came down to white male marrying black women, but we got real cold when, the husband was black and the wife was white.
I found it. But go ahead, continue. I found it.
Okay. So, but the funny thing, the research once again looked at Asian, and it was the same thing, but it was the opposite. Where just to summarize it, Asian women were perfectly fine, warm, and comfortable and positive, feeling positive with both combinations. So whether it's Asian woman, white male, white Asian woman, but the Asian men had a problem, right? So they were fine when the husband would no. They were fine when the Asian male and the lady was white or non-Asian, but when it switched and the Asian women were marrying non-Asian male, they got real cold to that idea.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a hypothesis thrown in about mating preferences. Kid, you did mention that, and for the most part, we stay with our own, like kids said. For the most part, we're comfortable with our own people, and it became, and for them to interpret those results, they turned it into a competition. So let's say if everybody, they call it mating competition. So essentially, if there were less black women marrying, because there's less black women marrying white men, black men don't really feel threatened. They feel like they can always find a sister to marry because there are less. Why are you trying to send me stuff for old Cupid?
That's where I got it from, so you could look at it. I was trying to be nice. Damn, I was getting yelled at. Jesus.
I don't trust those people. Anyway, but once again, it was competition. So because there were less black women actually going out of the race and marrying other people, black male felt, complacent and we don't really care. And that was the same thing that saw an Asian male, if this was true, like the mating competition was true, because that's what the hypothesis they came with. Asian male felt threatened because there was less Asian women to get if they wanted to only stay within the race, because there was a majority Asian women getting out of the race, dating and marrying outside the race. Right. And that was their explication. Now, what you got to say?
I coughed again. I don't have it, by the way. I was just coughing.
Even if you had it, this is for you over there, man.
I have my mask, so it's okay. I'm good. See, I have my mask. So, face coverings. New York State face covering. But go ahead. I just pulled back up the thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm done. Go ahead. I'm waiting for your beautiful.
Okay, so, edit. Okay, so what I was talking about was, this was conducted between 2009 and 2014. Now, I sent Rose and all you the link so you could look at it if you want. Now, like I said, when you have men rating women, let's just take Asian men and Asian women. They're 11% likely to hook up above the average. They're 11%. I'm assuming that's how they structured it. With black women, it's negative 16. Okay. According to this,
I have the biggest rebuttal for your shit, but go ahead.
What's that you said?
Go ahead, kid.
No, I hear what you said.
I said, go ahead.
So you get to just cuss while I'm talking. Okay. So basically, when we're looking at, for some reason, men aren't attracted to our women and other races of women, except us together, aren't attracted to us. That was in 2009. In 2014, well, like I said, they went through all years. It actually even went lower between 2009 and 2017. So what I'm saying is, back to what I was saying before, people don't like us that are coming into their non-black areas. They don't. They're more accepting of you guys, but it's not by much. So again, that's how I feel. Now, you guys can tell me I'm full of shit. That's fine. But based on evidence that I've been seeing, it doesn't favor us. But go ahead and cuss me out. Go ahead.
I mean, you may be right if we're looking at your data for what it is, which is data straight from a dating website.
Right.
And you did mention a word, and that's why I say I understand why your data, it is what it is. Hookups. These are not relationship. These is what we talked about, where people have buckets lists. You know, when we talk about relationship and marriage and really found like starting a family, that's a big step. But these experiment, sometimes people will look at having sex as an experiment. Like, I really just want to have fun. I haven't tried this. I mean, I've heard certain things that it's just like, damn, you really think people are just like, you walk in a candy store and you just pick whatever you like and you whatever. What am I going to have today? Let me pick this and pick that. So it's right. I mean, there's a dating site, and some of these actually, even Plenty of Fish, whatever, some of them actually are marketed to just say is a one night stand. That's what they're.
It's actually an app for that, by the way.
Like, yeah, it's crazy, but I know the more established one, like, I don't know which one were they actually show on TV. They have one that's actually big time.
Bumble?
No, like not eHarmony. Before eHarmony, it was something else. Because
Ashley Madison.
No,
that was one before the breach. That was one. That
they
was
had the biggest one. My mother I was really thinking about signing my mom. Don't tell her that. I was really thinking because they had ages too. They're like 50 or over, 60 and over. Christian Mingle. You guys heard that. I think that was that.
Yeah.
So,
oh, yeah. J-Date.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So they some of them actually made it to TV where it was okay to sit down there in between your show. You would see a commercial about.
But
dating.
see what they said, though. They said Christian Mingle.
That thing.
Listen, Bibles and I guess. You know what? I'm not going to say that because Nikki's here and she a woman of God. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. Nope.
They're
maybe she wants to know. I'll tell her later, but I'm not telling her. Nope. I might get a sermon. I'm good.
The bigger platform advertised like real relationship. They had people actually coming there and telling their testimony, like I was depressed. But the smaller platform, really, when you go on Tinder, I mean, I know people met for real on Tinder, got married, had kids, and all of that. But everybody else, every time you tell me I have to swipe left and swipe right, I mean, this is not serious. I have to look at somebody's picture and determine if I'm going to marry that person for one picture or two.
But that's not the point of it. The point of it is to cultivate something.
Some of them are not marketing themselves as that. It's just like, hey, I mean, actually they had one that would call out of town or something. So when you visit a town, you log in, you just give your hotel room and you say
it's called Craigslist.
Let's stop doing that thing.
I'm mad. Craigslist and Backpage, man. We might have to do a show on that in memoriam to them too. Listen, let me tell you something.
I ain't like that crap.
Listen. Of course, the white guy messed it up for everybody, but
what happened? He killed somebody?
Yeah, the Craigslist killer. He was up in Boston. He hooked girls up and he killed like 3 of them.
Yeah, I think I heard about that.
Oh no.
Boston.
So exactly.
And people of color dominate the Backpage.
When you look at things like that, I mean, for me, yes, your data could be right in those settings, but I think more so what we're talking about
here. Well,
I
think those stats are just about who they're just looking at who's accepting. Cocksucker. I thought I saw something. Those are just calling just to see who's when you click accept request. So I don't know how they do it, but they just I think it's whoever you click to accept their request to talk.
Messages or whatever.
Right.
You have to befriend them so they can message you, or you have to something like that. But that could be right. But besides that, I think I've seen more Black men, going out to race for something long term, and Black women too. We're doing it, but like I said, I think for a Black woman, I know at least for me, you have to think twice before you bring someone else your race. My family really don't care. I'm the last born. We had a mixed kid from. I'm like, all right, you gonna be mad at me and you let all of this happen, please.
Mhm.
So it really doesn't matter. So leave the sister alone now.
What the hell? Listen, nobody got mad at Serena.
Why? They're married.
My point exactly. Nobody said nothing. The only people you heard say something with them Sims.
I
That's the only
mean,
people you heard.
I think we talked about this. I think you can date whomever you want. What most people have had really bad reaction, and some black women, I read some funny stuff sometime, but I try not to have those amplify the responses. We read what that girl said about Kobe Bryant, right? He passed away. She was sad, and then no, everybody was sad, and then she come back like a day later and talk about, yo,
Who? Who?
his wife shouldn't get money because she was Hispanic or something. You showed me that thing.
Oh, the chick that wrote that. Okay.
She was something else. I mean, from all the message, like literally like 2 or 3 days later, I'm like, yo, chill out. Don't nobody got time for this.
We'll talk about that story, but I want to get the ladies' input on dating sites. Does that harm us or does it help us?
I think like dating sites, if that's your preference to use it, that's okay. But I think like the real thing is like live and in person, because like you could have a dating site and somebody could say this, that, and the third, but then when you get there, like it don't look like how they said they were going to look on the site. Then they saying certain stuff and it's not matching up. Like, listen, you said that you had a job doing this and you're not doing that, you're doing something totally different. So I feel like lines can kind of get blurred. But even in person too, like sometimes similar to dating site, they could tell you something in person if you date somebody, then you finding out red flag number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like all over the place. So I think it's like using your discernment, but it gets kind of dicey with online dating too. If somebody can say one thing, then you find a whole nother backstory. They got a lot of stuff hidden in the tuck that you don't even know
Whole
about.
family.
Yeah, whole
1, 2,
family.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
That's y'all Africans, but we're not gonna go there today.
Whoa.
That is so
That's
true.
y'all Africans.
I ain't gonna lie.
That's y'all Africans, but we ain't
Got
gonna.
every family. Like
You are the one and only for me. Wait,
not my
who is
children anymore.
Who is Adiola? I do not know her.
It's my cousin.
She's in Africa.
Everybody is
I send her
cousin.
money every month. She do not care. I just drive the cab.
Like you would hear,
That
like
was racist, by the way, guys. I'm
you
sorry.
would hear a little kid call him dad or mom and be like, "Who is that?" They're my little daughter children. They call me father because I'm providing for them now. Like, that's funny. But yeah.
But yes, Miss Kristen.
So I have done Tinder and I've kind of played around with the eHarmony stuff. I was just trying to see what it was all about. And so when we're looking at the paid stuff like eHarmony, Match, Christian Mingle,
That was Match. Yep.
I also think about, if no one's ever done it, they ask you these questions, kind of get to know you.
Right.
And then you start getting into the what do you preference? Well, one of those is financial. So I'm going to go back to, again, when we look at certain finances and what somebody's making and what they do as a career, I can put that I'm looking for a man that makes $70,000. So I might not, that's already starting to put some of my options out. And so I have to think about, well, what's being seen on the other side. If a black man saying he wants a woman that makes $70,000 a year, and there's a black woman on that page that only makes $30,000, they're not going to link up because he's already nipped some things out of there. So I think of the dating ones where he's probably like, well, this is what they showed me, slim pickings. I'm going to take what I can get because I'm at this point in my life where, especially if you're paying for a paid one, you're probably ready to have a family and get married and be serious. Now with Tinder, or OkCupid, or Plenty of Fish, like the more free ones, you can kind of get a gauge of what people are doing with themselves. You can't necessarily block out certain races, but you can kind of see background pictures, what they say they do as a career, how they're posing, who they're with. I can kind of get a feel of like, okay, how do you take your life? What's going on here? So I can be more able to pick what I want and make my preferences that way. And so I know when I did Tinder, one of the guys I talked to was African American. He looked like he had himself together. There was some other guys that hit me up, and I was like, okay, I'm not interested. Y'all are not at my level. So I don't know. I just feel like there's so much more within dating sites. So I can't go off of that data unless we're looking off of like, well, what was going on behind the scenes? Because what kind of income level did you pick? What kind of religious background did you pick? What kind of area are you looking for? Because with that, then it's making your pickings even smaller. And someone that doesn't know all that might be like, well, this is all they had for me. So then we have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
That is so true. Yeah.
I figured religion was gonna show up eventually.
Yeah, they have custom questions and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're pretty much put themselves as being the middleman, and for them to find a better match for you, they need to get to know you better so they can.
Yes, because they don't want the rate of saying that you're paying money to have couples break up. We want you guys to work it out. So we're trying to get everything that we can out of you before you say no, you don't want to pay for this service, because all that part is free. But what you have to pay for is to see what these people look like at that point. And I think you can also put your racial preferences, but I don't think a lot of people want to reverse that. They'll just say it's out in the open.
Yep. Now, you brought up something that I would like to talk about. Levels. What is the level thing? Go ahead, kid.
The level thing?
Like, yeah. I mean, I heard, and I think I was talking to you or someone else maybe, and they were complaining about what certain Black woman wants to be the you know.
Oh, that legendary list? The list that we've been hearing since the 80s?
How you feel about the list?
The list is, you got to understand, that list only pertains to 1%, maybe even less, of men in this world. Not every man is 6 feet. And if they did their research, they would know that shorter men make more money. But tall, dark, and handsome, that can be anybody.
The heights, the money, the financials.
Income, okay. Unless you're an athlete or entertainer, it takes you years to get to 6 figures. Unless your field commands that. And that's usually your STEM fields.
Yep.
You get that quicker. But most of men are blue-collar workers. They work their way up. So you might start out today, maybe in their field, maybe 50 if they're lucky. So I think women today have an unrealistic standard and they need to bring it down a little bit, but I understand that them saying that we can't afford that because they have another problem that they don't want to acknowledge. To me, that's how I feel. I think the third and fourth wave feminism messed y'all up because it did put y'all in positions where you can earn more, but then you want to revert back to saying, okay, now that I don't have this, I want the family and I want the spoils of being married. But at that point, you didn't realize that your sexual marketplace value went down, and dudes around my age are not going to want to mess with you unless you're an exceptional woman, because we can just go get somebody younger, because if we're making the same amount of money, I can just say, okay, Miss 21-year-old, come hang with me, because I'm going to get better looks than me being with a 31-year-old who spent most of her quote-unquote motherhood height years working, trying to build up a nest egg. But now,
bullshit.
What bullshit? Tell me where the lie is told.
You say she spent her motherhood. What the fuck? What?
Her normal average motherhood years.
Shut the fuck
working.
up.
That wasn't the stat in the mid-20s that women should be having kids?
Should. Good,
right.
Good. Should.
Right. But that's where the level.
That's not must. Should. As a recommendation. Y'all need to stop taking recommendation. Just like the list you just said. I don't agree with all of that crap.
We're not supposed to listen to doctors because that's when you're supposed to be at your healthiest.
Do you?
In the 20s.
Do you listen to doctors? Do you do every single thing that society tells you to do, kid? Go ahead and lie. You're allowed to.
What do you mean everything?
Every single thing that people say you should, that society tells you. You the
But you
most
know me,
unique
I
person,
don't
weird
listen to
as fuck.
people. You
And you gonna
listen.
sit down here. Exactly. That's
I don't.
exactly why. So for
I'm
you
just
to sit
saying
down
what.
here and say should, I don't believe that list. I don't like that
I got
6
yelled at again, by the way.
6 feet you have to make. I don't believe it. It shouldn't be
You
no
never
list.
heard that. Wait a minute. Don't tell me you never heard that.
I heard of it. I don't believe it. I
I
heard
know
of
you
it.
don't believe it. See,
I
you're
have
one of the
a
normal
whole
ones.
lot of friends that
You're normal. You prefer to build. Most
Nikki,
of
go ahead.
damn, she just
How,
cut me
how
off.
do
Go
you
ahead, Nikki. Nah, it's
how do you
okay.
feel about that list? And then Kristen
I'm
can
gonna
go.
drink my apple juice.
Again, I'm sorry.
How do you feel about the so-called old list that black women or women in general, I don't know if it's just black women, had about you need to have certain, asking the men that they're dating about their financial status,
I'm
the
be sexist.
height,
I only heard it from my women. I'm gonna be sexist today.
the height, the money, the employment, house. Sometimes it was crazy. Me, this list,
That
man.
list,
I
boy.
mean, having
Girl,
a
you
list
get
is
that
like,
first yourself.
I think like having a list is like a starting point, but like you got to be realistic. Like, so what if somebody has the finances, like you have a specific goal you want that person to be at financially, but they may have like other stuff that's the problem. So I feel like you have to be realistic. Like you can have a list all you want to, but being realistic, like, okay, is it going to be a checklist where financially this is what's going on with the money that that you want for them to be able to make, and then to be taking steps if they don't have that as a goal to try to achieve it. You got to be realistic, because you could get somebody that is having that specific income requirement. Then there could be other things going on a list. But in reference as well to what you had mentioned before, I know you were talking about like women being a specific age to do certain things. I feel like it's all on your timing. Because some people have children later, like later in age, based on their comfortability, or like maybe they settle down at a specific age and they're ready to start a family. So you can't really put a brush or a timing on that. But as far as like having a checklist, it's okay to have a checklist, but you have to be realistic. Because it could be certain stuff on that list that not everything's going to really be met. You have to take it how it is. You're either going to have somebody that's going to meet certain parts on your checklist, or they're going to be lacking in certain areas.
Yeah. The only thing about checklist is there's always one thing. It's usually
Yeah.
a little bit harder for you to articulate what you want. But I definitely know what I don't want. I think that if you have that list that I don't want this, I
Yeah.
don't want that. For me, it's easier to sit down here and say, okay, what did I don't want? I don't want a wife beater. Okay, cool. That's definitely like a no-no. What you really want, like you said, you can grow with someone, you can build yourself.
Yeah.
You guys can, meet and develop together, and that's actually sweet. That's actually what the type of love we want.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kristen.
Right. So I think that it's good to have standards. It's good to know what it is that you want. So that way, when you meet this potential person, you can kind of check it off and say like, okay, yes, I'm meeting here. And I agree. I think it needs to be realistic. I'm not going to sit here and knock off every person that's not 6 feet. That sounds silly, because I'm ruining my chances for potential. So I'm just looking like, okay, are you ambitious? Does it seem like you're a go-getter? Like something more practical. I don't want to hear, well, I'm doing this and I'm dabbling in that and I'm trying to do this and that. That also says you might not have time for me. So I'm trying to say like, yeah, you're an ambitious person, but maybe you're not on the level of ambition that I'm on. Maybe you're shorter than me. Okay, well, why would I be uncomfortable about that? Whatever. So you have to learn to be comfortable with things. But whenever something doesn't go in line with you, it makes it a lot easier for you to say, you know what, I can be done with this. Because I honestly feel that sometimes females will lower their standards too low and deal with way too much crap, and then they're sitting there hurt like, I can't believe this person, they just left me down and out. I got a whole bunch of kids with this person, he had a whole nother family. And it's like, because you saw the signs all along and you had your list, but you just was like, well, I'm gonna go make changes for what?
Y'all not playing for real.
No, man.
See, I told you I want to. I told they know I wanted serious people on this.
Woo, y'all not playing. She said go get her. Now she was saying, I want you to make sure you're ambitious and go get her and all that. But I don't want you to be like, I'm doing this and that. So go get her for you. Don't it
master of none.
So quick
It's
question.
not equal hustle. If I tell you I hustle.
It's it's good too, like to be a go-getter and like to be a dreamer, but like, you know, dreaming is excellent and being a go-getter is excellent, but are you really taking the steps to get done what you want to get done? Like you could dream it all you want, but are you like doing it? Or like, okay, I know I got to get this business off the ground running. I have to do this, I have to do that. Like take the steps. Like we could dream, but we're not going to be here 3 years in and you still didn't do what you said you were going to do. Like,
All right, go ahead.
come
I
on
agree.
now.
I agree.
Come
That's
on now.
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I'm about to bring up a scenario. That's why I'm rubbing my hands together. Here we go.
That'd
I
be
want to
the
see
craziest
who knew about it. Huh?
fish
No.
ever.
Now, before I ask this, I need to ask someone on the panel a question. It's kind of a sensitive question. Miss Kristen, now you said you had a child with a white person, right?
I did.
Okay. Are you familiar with the term swirling?
He really trying.
No, I'm.
I'm ready for it.
No, I'm asking. Have you ever heard the term swirling?
Yes.
Okay. Would you, or should I, or do you want to explain it, or do
You
you want me to
explain it
explain?
for your audience.
Okay. Swirling is a term coined by, I think it was Crystalline Karazin years ago. And it's basically what they call black women who get with non-black men, specifically white men. And she did a whole book and she has a YouTube channel, whatever. I don't like the woman. So I brought that up because lately there's been a little bit of controversy on Twitter with a brother named CJ King. Now, he dared to post a picture of himself graduating from law school. He didn't pass the bar. There's a caveat why I mentioned that. He didn't pass, he said he failed the bar the first time. But he dared to put up a post online and it got women, specifically our women, in a tizzy. And I want y'all thoughts on what this brother said. Okay, so this is what the brother said. Now that I'm JD'd, bar number loading, I guess, you know, he didn't pass the bar. I've entered into a new arena of black men, and in this arena, I'm the prize now. Don't just take my word for it. And before you kill me in the comments, let me drop some stats for your ass right now, right quick, so you can see my point. Black women outnumber black men by 2 million. Black women don't want to deal with a black man who's gay, down low, has baby mama issues, or has a felony conviction / record / in jail, which collectively is a large part of our race. Unfortunately, statistically, 37% of black men are in jail, while a third of black men have some form of criminal record. Black women typically don't want to date down and prefer to have a black man that is on the same playing field as her or higher. Well, statistically, only 7% of black men are professionals. With this massive criteria, the black women don't want in when, I don't know, what, dating a black man, they have essentially drastically limited the dating pool of viable black men that majority of black women are currently after, which means everyone doesn't get picked. And statistically, 70% of black women go unmarried. You see where I'm going here. Additionally, black women want their male to be attractive, have some form of edge, style, to be exciting, not be a lame, etc. I know all that is subjective, but everyone doesn't have these so-called X factors, which lowers the numbers of viable black men even lower. So with me now gaining access into this very small percentage of black men that are young, for the record, I'm under 30 with 2 degrees, single and attractive, am heterosexual, are heterosexual, have no criminal record, no baby mama drama, and have some form of high-paying career potential, that majority of black women are, are competing against each other for. You tell me who the real prize is here. Now, he wrote this on Instagram. Black Twitter picked it up. Folk, them swirlers went nuts on that man. Brought up his record, brought up his man that passed the bar, saying he's the real prize, saying he's a joke, this, that, and the third. Now, me personally, I ain't seen nothing with what he wrote because he didn't down black women. He was just quoting stats. I showed it to wifey, and I showed her some fuck shit, and she'll admit to this. But even she couldn't find something wrong with what he said because she was hoping. She even told me after, I was waiting for you to say he said something about black women, but he didn't say nothing. So now I showed it to Rose. She ain't want no parts. But then I think she gave me a response, and I forgot what she said, so she can repeat it. But I'm going to pass it around and let y'all give y'all thoughts on what the brother said. So whoever wants to start, you can go ahead. I'm gonna drink this apple juice.
I'll go. I kind of agree with what he said. I can see parts with what he was saying. When he said that, I even thought about my own preferences. Like, honestly, I don't want a guy that's on the down low. That whole Love is Blind thing, when they mentioned that and that guy, that's what it made me think of. And I was like, I don't. A guy that's incarcerated, my mom worked in a prison. She told me what she saw. I don't want that either, just from her experience.
Mhm.
So when I was reading all of this, I could resonate with him. And I felt like I could hear his pain through it, of saying like, look, I've probably been turned down before. Now look at me. And so I took it that kind of way to say
Mhm.
that, like, you know, some women will sit here, before I was nothing, but now that I'm here, I'm something. And so, you know, I think that I even think of my husband. He's attractive in my eyes. So I always think about, well, what's attractive? Like, I don't want a man that's out here feeling himself a little too much. So I find my husband attractive to me. So I don't know. I just think that some women, or some people, I'm not going to just say women, some people always want to say, well, I want what everybody else wants. And we have to branch out of that. So whatever he's been turned down before. He needs to also look at the type of woman he's been trying to get, and maybe say like, look, maybe I'm also trying to pick the wrong kind of woman that's not my type, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and before someone else goes, he did say on another post that he did want a black woman, but he did say they weren't checking for him like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since he was going to law school, he said, you know, they were saying that you're all busy, so you didn't have time, and then others were saying that he only did that so he gets some pussy, which I don't
I don't think it's
understand.
that way.
I don't understand why you would wait to get a degree after 8 years to go get some pussy. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, that's neither here nor there. So whoever
I
else wants to
I
jump in.
I think that I didn't see anything wrong with like the statistics and everything he was throwing out there.
Mhm.
But like what you said, Kristen, I would be interested to see like previous people he's dated before in his past, and maybe if there's a pattern or slight differences, to see who he's dated in the past. And also, like, another thing I want to say, you can have as many degrees as you want to have, but what is it about your personality? Like, what is it about you where maybe, you know, you're not really finding certain people, like even if he wants to date a black woman, what is it about his personality, whether it was a black woman or someone of a different race? What is it about his personality? Because you can have as many degrees under your belt and have seemed so put together, but inside there can be brokenness, or there can be something else that's going on that you wouldn't necessarily see on the surface. So like, what else is there about you? Like, yes, you got the degrees, that's all it, that's great, you got it, but what is it about you? Because there has to be something else there. You can have all the money you want, all the degrees you want, but what is it underneath the surface? Because what is it about you? Like, are you genuine? Are you not genuine? Are there certain hidden truths about you that we don't necessarily know that you're hiding behind these degrees and this title?
Yep, exactly. So literally, when you were reading that post, I was just thinking to myself, like, this guy really wanted the whole world to clap for him for being an adult. That degree has his name. It got nobody else's names but his. He wanted it. And when you were close to finish with it, I'm like, yeah. Just like Nikki, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, I probably would turn you down, not because of all you said, but probably because I see something in your personality that come kind of out on this post, and that kind of put me off. Not saying I'm gonna turn you down, but I'm definitely gonna be on a like, I raise up my
You gonna be on
defense.
alert?
Yeah, I'd be like, okay.
And what was
So
that?
he talked so much about himself. He brought all of this, and yeah, he did. He did. This post was about him and what he's accomplished. And kudos to you. You know, we've seen this. This is not brand new. People being turned down. He won't be the first nor the last. I hate when people try to bring down PD on themselves. Starting from the bottom, now we're here. That's a song. You know, people play with the chips on the shoulder. We see that with NFL guys. People being not believed in, and then they get to the NFL, NBA. It's fine. It's life. Life is not fair. You have to battle. You have to make it through. Chicks turned you down. Okay, maybe you were looking for the wrong chick, the chick that was looking for material stuff and all that, which for real, you wouldn't even like. it may be something wrong with you. Then what in the word? Like, leave people alone. We got a problem. We got a coronavirus out here, man. Like, seriously. No.
Listen, from what I heard, there's an uptick in dating sites about the COVID.
Nobody got time for that. I really
Listen, you in lockdown, you get to go outside, you see something you like. I'm just saying, real quick, I'm just saying, you never know.
Yeah, I think it's something about a guy. Now, I don't know him. I really don't care.
We all know lawyers are egotistical creatures anyway. We know this.
So, and I think I responded later to your post. And I think I went back and forth with the guy, and I was just like, it just depends on who is surrounded himself. And I think it goes with what Nikki said, is like, and Kristen too, the type of lady he had around himself. Because I know when I talk with my homegirls, we don't even get to none of those stuff that he listed. Like, that is someone who was doing a lot of things illegally. And I'm like, yo, you need to chill with that. You need to stop it. And, it didn't even bother me until I'm like, okay, this has to go. But it depends. He's a price. Anybody could be a price. I can have a 2-year-old come up here and say, Mama, I'm the shit. I'm like, yeah, boy, you right. You're the shit. So, hey, make yourself worth of it. I mean, I don't believe in anybody being lesser of anything. But, I mean, what he just say shows like, okay, I'd be on alert if I were to talk to him. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he already put himself so high on a pedestal.
Isn't he allowed to, though?
He is.
Yes, but you can't. But then you're just gonna sit here and always think, "Well, I'm too great for you. I'm too good for you." And then you're gonna get butthurt again and be like, "How come nobody wants me? How come nobody wants to be with me?"
I've heard of a relationship where people had an issue with a partner just talking about himself all day long. It's like you walk in the morning, me. I did this, did that. I'm like, damn, did you pause and listen to me my day?
Yeah.
Like, if you really were not cutting them off, they would ramble about themselves. And I've seen him like, okay, I can understand why y'all broke up. So.
Yeah, and there's more stuff going on in the world than just you. The world does not revolve around just you. There's more stuff going on in it.
So to his question, I agree. He is the price.
Yeah.
What price?
Whatever price he wants to be, he's the price to get. I don't know who's gonna come for him, but I'm sure a lot of people are gonna come to him. Not here. No.
We'll see.
Yep.
I brought that up because it was mostly the swirling community that went after him on Twitter over what he said, which is funny because what we do, but care about what we do. I don't know why, but that's another thing. Like, they made that a whole industry for preference. So we're gonna get back to preference.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I brought up Chrislyn Carrington. She made a whole. I think she leads that field on our side. And I've even perused Amazon, and I see books about Black women and white men, and they got like 4.5 stars on Amazon and stuff.
I mean, it shows that, like I said before, relationships still bother our society, and then as a society, we need to ask ourselves what's really going on. Like, why all these rules? Why we bother by it? Now, is it only the States or somewhere else? I don't know. Having traveled around, Asia is pretty closed up. Yes, if you're interracial there or mixed kids, you have a hard time there.
Yes.
Certain part of Africa, yes, you have a hard time, but the other way around, meaning, you kind of weirdly glorify, or I mean, it worked to your advantage, not to your disadvantage. To have a non-Black parent, in Europe is so mixed right now. Immigrants started coming to Europe way earlier than the States. So by now, really, they're cool. But we just, we had our first Black president. So does it mean that America haven't really changed?
Who, Bill Clinton?
I know you did that on purpose.
I know I did that on purpose. I always do that.
That's my
anytime
man.
you say that. Anytime you say that. But
Shut up.
we're also going to talk about what
Obama.
I brought up, what I said I was going to talk about earlier. Why is it y'all love saying when Black men date non-Black women, why do y'all love saying that we have some form of self-hate? Or use that excuse on you? I'm just curious.
I guess probably because the black women think that you have a black mother.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like another black woman, then you probably don't like your mother. I don't know. I think that's, for me, that's a more plausible explanation. Because you have a black mother, you should like a black woman. Because your black mother, quote unquote, raised you and showed you all the goodness and care of a black woman. Blah 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 blah. But that's not who a
But
woman.
go to your favorite Obama. He had a white mother, so y'all shouldn't.
He's a mixed guy. So I think if it's changed, I think, let me say that it changed with if you're mixed and your mom is not, it's not black. Yeah.
Huh. So
it's just my
y'all
interpretation.
hold on. Let me ask you a question. Would y'all have voted for him if he had a white wife?
I would have voted for him ASAP.
Yeah, I would have still voted for him.
Yep.
Like he was so focused on
Interesting.
bringing about a lot
Because
of
I asked a lot of black women that question. They said they wouldn't have done it.
really?
I really voted for him for Michelle. She cool
Yes,
though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love her, but
me and her, we about this here, but that's another show.
Hey.
That's another show.
No, she cool. No, I would have voted for him. No, you know, I vote about politics. None of these social crap don't impact my political thing. It's really about the work. Because, social media don't feed me. Social media don't pay schools around here. Social media don't do nothing about laws. It's all about,
But back to the question I posed. Why do y'all like saying that term, though? We hate ourselves. Your mama black.
I think it could be in part so most people saying that because of their upbringing, like what you said, Rose, them having a mother and she's a representation of what love is. They've grown up around that. And it could also be about going on in the past, like with our history, with our ancestors, people in our family having a lineage of actually being slaves. Like if you know that, why would you still go ahead and marry or be with somebody that is not black? And I feel like that's something that's been going on for years. Everyone's always going to have still a certain way about it.
Mm-hmm.
I saw your face, kid. Doesn't mean that we're supporting it. We're just coming out with what we think it could be.
Y'all don't support it. Y'all don't support that.
Okay.
Cool. Y'all don't support men doing that. You don't.
Okay. Go ahead, Kristen, because you're like, well, that's what y'all think. No, we just thinking of what it could be.
Well, when we go to the mother, I do also wonder what kind of representation did the mother do? Did she turn him off so much that he didn't want to be with the black? I know, I've wondered that because I'm like, I want to see what the mother is like.
But wait, you got to remember, in our community, mama is the monolith. You can't speak on the mama.
Sometimes
I block mom,
mama because mother wasn't there.
True.
So
I give that to you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I do have to really look at what was your background like. What did she kind of offer you? What did she see? Because that whole man ain't shit, your daddy ain't shit, all that kind of stuff. Maybe he was like, you know what? I'm tired of hearing this. I know I won't hear it from another woman that's outside my race. I think, again, like I was saying earlier, my issue becomes when it's only, I want a snow bunny only. I want my kids to have good hair. I only want
Who said that? Who said that?
Some men.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at his face.
I've never heard I've heard men say that. Wait a minute. I've heard some men say that, but I've heard it more on the women's side.
No, when
how we gonna say we want a kid with nice hair when we have natural hair? Look at us.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Yeah, for real.
Oh Lord, we gonna talk.
Who had a natural?
We gonna talk. No, go ahead, Chris.
When I was in college, that was the first time I heard it, and it was from a light-skinned guy, the same color as me.
Thank you.
He was like, all I want is snow bunnies. I'll hang out with you, but I want snow bunnies. And I was like, snow bunnies?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, but for real, that was my first time hearing it was in college. I had never heard that term. And so I kind of thought it was kind of funny, kind of cute to call white girls that. But then I started thinking about, like, that's all you want? Like, why not Hispanic girl? Why not Asian girl? Why not even a black girl? Like, what turns you on so much of just that one race? So that's when I'm kind of like, you must not love yourself if you only have a preference for one. There was a book I read called Passing, and it is so good. But basically, it's a black woman. She passes as white because she's really like light skinned. Huh?
Rachel Dolezal?
No.
Just asking.
I knew he was going to do something.
Listen. Listen,
And
she's the greatest representation of preference
Listen,
I've
she
ever
was
seen in
real
my
life.
life.
She was not in the book. She was real life.
no,
Mm.
yeah. But either way, just this part in the book where, you know, she's pretending she's going to be white because she was trying to get a job. The job didn't get her. So she went on to pretend to be white to see kind of the advantages of being white. And so this black went down on her and he's talking about, you taste better than the black girls. And I'm like, the girl is black. You just don't know it. And so it becomes this hyped up infatuation of like, what is up with that?
Wait a minute, the critter really said that?
In the book, yes, that's what he said. It even tastes better. And she was like, get off me, because she knew internally, like, I'm really black. So he's kind of saying the most. But I do have issue with that when it becomes you only preference one. And then I'll say this too.
Mm-hmm.
I do have white friends that are with black men, but then they'll go put on cowboy boots and I mean, I live in Texas, so it's common. But they'll go to this one world and I never see her butt with his world. I never see him with his side of the family. It's always them. And I want to ask, but you know, it's going to be rude, but how come you don't do anything with his family? Does his family not accept this? Is that why y'all don't come? Or is it that he just wants to be with your side so bad? So now you got me hyped up because I'm just like, that's when I do have issue. I don't have an issue any other time. If you were to tell me like, look, I just happened to fall in love with this woman, but if we didn't work it out, I'll get with a sister any day. Fine, cool. But it's when you start losing yourself.
Kristen want all the smoke.
No, that's fine. Listen, I've heard brothers, like I said, I've heard brothers say that before, and I just say, you know what, go wipe yourself down there. But I hear, like I said, I hear more from the females.
Shout out to African, man. We accept everybody, man. When we come down, we're
I
gonna
know y'all accept everybody.
That's
That's a subject for another day. We're gonna talk about Africa one
like
day.
anything. I'm kidding.
Oh no, I know, especially down in South Africa, y'all, South Africa's wild, but we're gonna talk about them another day because I have to get some more information.
So come to the motherland, y'all. We welcome everybody. Go visit Ghana, South Africa, Kenya.
But like, we can't get away with saying yo daddy black. And like I say, if y'all want to keep it fair,
Your mama.
how do you laugh?
I'm not.
You just laughed, but it's okay. So this is interesting. He really said that in the book, though?
Yeah. I mean, she quickly said, get off me, so at least she did that.
Maybe she showered before you started, Negro.
He was just trying too hard. And that's what happens. They try too hard.
I guess.
I heard
I don't
that
know.
too.
I you know what? Maybe Rose is right. Maybe I'm too much with the tunnel vision when it comes to the media.
Thank you, ladies. We did it.
No. I didn't admit nothing. I'm just saying I might have a biased view. That's fine. But we can also see that online.
I think it happens. But not the backslash that the lady, because we're vocal and
wait a minute. Okay, fine. Since I gave up my examples, I want you to name the black chicks that have non-black men. I don't want to tell you if they ever got backlash. Go ahead.
Who's that woman on the show, on the View show that you went off on?
Whoopi?
Whoopi? No, not Whoopi.
Whoopi, listen, Whoopi done had her white man call black men niggas. So Whoopi ain't in my good category right now. Don't mention her. But no, it wasn't on the View. It was on the Real. Miss Leon Lonnie Love.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
Leon Lonnie Love.
I get those two so confused.
No, that dumb shit she said pissed me off. Shameless plug. I did an emergency show about that way back in season 2.
He was upset.
Go listen to that. Oh, I was upset. I went off on her. So when y'all want to listen, there might be. Did I curse in that? I'm trying to remember. Did I curse in that?
Maybe.
Oh no, that was a regular show. That wasn't.
She's dating a white dude. She married to a white dude, right?
She's dating the white man. But then said that black men cheat. All we do is cheat. And I went off on her. And then because she first said, I don't speak for the black community, but I can say this.
I wonder how she got her information. I wonder where she get it from. Come here, girl.
I wonder if it's based on her own personal experience.
Exactly, and that's what I told. No, that's a lie. No.
That was
this
a lie.
Is what she said. She said it's a combination of money, power, and surrounding. That's Hollywood, and I think she brought up Beyonce? Did she brought up Beyonce or Jay-Z or
She brought
whatever?
up
Like, how
no,
would you
she
cheat
brought up
on such?
Common. She brought up Common, and she brought up
Like, how would you cheat on this good of a woman type of thing? Like, she's really there, blah blah blah, and then, but then I think she didn't. This is what I told Kid. I didn't think she talked about every single black man because she started
she
listing down.
generalized, which you don't like.
I don't like that.
Yeah, she generalized
Yeah.
because she went from them in Hollywood
Who
to
pointed out?
athletes.
I think the Asian girl brought her back.
Yeah,
and
and she
said,
got
no,
and she went off on her.
that Asian girl is dating one of the black
Yeah,
dudes.
Jeezy.
Yeah, they just got
And she went off on her because she said something.
because she
She's like, you
stopped
can't
her.
do
She was
that.
like, no,
Yeah, you
I don't
can't do
think that's
that.
true.
She's like, yes, I can. And I'm like, I gotta go.
I should do it again, Kid. Go ahead.
That's how she looked. That's how she looked. She's like, you're not gonna tell me I can't say this. I'm from Detroit, motherfucker. I say whatever I want. I said what I wanted, and I tagged her in it. And she still didn't see it, motherfucker.
This dude is
Yeah,
always looking. Oh no, he got a respawn from Claudia Jordan. Go ahead.
Oh yes, Claudia. Claudia.
That's his
Claudia.
favorite now.
I might put this up on YouTube and tag her in it. Claudia, come on the show.
Yeah, but it definitely had to be based, I feel like, on her personal experience.
I
And
think
it's
so.
not all true because it doesn't, like, a man can have money and do that in the entertainment industry. It can be somebody that's not even well known in the industry. It could be like a regular person, like, and still you could be the baddest thing on the block and still get cheated on. It doesn't have anything to do like with status or anything. It's about, okay, you can have everything together and somebody can still cheat money or whatever. It's just something within that person that they feel like they're prone to do those types of things. And I feel like in Beyonce's situation, like, that's something they handle themselves. Everybody, of course, everybody's gonna have input, but she was way wrong for that because it's not true. Like, if you're gonna say something about somebody cheating based on status, you have to try to reference, a certain type of man. You can't just say all black men because that's not necessarily the case. Maybe it was the black men she was dating, that probably was doing that to her, but it's not to say, like, that's just saying that if one race does this, it's the same. It's not true.
That's true. Okay.
And by the way, her white man said she gotta get a prenup if they get married. I just threw that.
I wonder if she gonna talk. Did she talk about that?
Oh, they tried to bring it up. She skirted way past that when they interviewed her about that.
What's up with black people in prenup though? Why don't we like it?
You know what it is? Why we don't like it? Because I'll tell you why. Because now we know, for one, you guys will never marry us if we made you sign a prenup.
I would. I'd be the first one to sign one.
You're different. Okay.
Yeah.
We were gonna have this conversation now. I'm glad you brought that up.
Come on.
I'm from my family's from Jamaica. Different culture.
House.
Yours is from Africa. Those cultures are way different. Now she said she would sign the prenup. That's fine.
Probably won't have one, but if
probably not. But if it came up, especially if you two are rich, I can understand you needing a prenup. But for us, I think black men need to say, listen, unless you sign this prenup, I'm not married. Because especially if you're going to be making that kind of money, unless you've known this chick like LeBron James and his old lady, you don't know what these women's intentions are. You don't know how they move.
And not to cut you off, the prenup really, yes. And it could be about anything. I think for me, the way I look about it, you can put anything down on a prenup and it will make separation about, what you guys have in common so much easier. For example, there's a couple who divorced recently and it was talked about maybe for a day or two and it went away. Miley Cyrus divorced her boy Liam and they were together for a minute, but on and off. And having a prenup made it like this. Like, it was on the news for like a day or two and then I ain't heard anything. On a prenup,
because the media loves messy divorces.
They had everything, even down to the dogs, and that it made me laugh because they had everything down to who gets which dogs and things like that. So it was really just a neat way it was signed and done in 2 days.
Right, but here's the thing. We don't like signing prenups because we're already coming in broke. So we think without the prenup, you could basically take my negative, and I'm left with nothing.
Damn, that's a good way to see it. Never saw it that way.
So most dudes, and to fellas, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cut on y'all again. Y'all act too much of a simp. I'm sorry. Y'all walk around and y'all let the thing between the legs hypnotize y'all, and y'all running into some. Ray J is fucked because he's about to get divorced. That woman gonna take everything he got because he don't listen. He should have stayed with Kim K. That's right, I said it. He'd have been a billionaire by now.
Nope. Kanye, my man. You
No,
can't do
shout out to
Kanye.
Kanye. Listen, I told you once, I'll tell you again. Kanye is my dude.
Yeah.
That man's a certified billionaire right now. So say what you want. He took his shot. He took the chick that did the porn tape, and now he's a billionaire. Ray J hit it first, and now he gonna get hit.
I don't think he hit it first. Kim Kardashian was not a
And he gonna have to see his daughter every other month.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about relationships because you don't ever know what happened behind closed door. I don't know what he did. I'm not gonna sit down here coaching it. I don't really know their relationship right like that.
Well, apparently the way they telling it online now, this is speculation. I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't stay in them circles, but she was a pass around, and she used to be with Floyd Mayweather, and you know them two had these little things. So,
well, one man's trash is another one's treasure.
I don't know.
Amen to that.
Not some of them industry girls. I don't know.
I don't know, but hey, wish them well. That's how we do here. We do positive people.
Yeah, exactly.
They need to go on Nikki's show. Nikki, what's your ad again? They need to come to you. Well, they need to.
They ain't gonna listen to that preaching.
Yeah,
come on.
They need to, no.
Listen.
They need to come to Kristen.
Need to hear it.
I know. No, I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying some people don't want to hear that. They don't want to be preaching.
I know.
This is why I prepared them. They need to empty themselves. So they're gonna start with Kristen. Empty all of the problem. Just talk until they drop. And then when they empty, they come here with Nikki and fill themselves with the Holy Spirit. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, my handle it's Nikki G _ moving with purpose.
I'm gonna tag Ray J, but he ain't gonna go.
Personal problem podcast with Kristen, man. She is great. Come empty yourself, talk, and then get filled up with the Holy Spirit afterwards. And then you can come on Beyond Borders and we're gonna talk.
Yeah.
Why don't they come here first?
No. I don't want him to come.
No, we gonna turn. Listen, they're gonna be all sanctified. We're gonna turn back into some heathens because you know the way I talk. But anyway, I don't know, bro.
I did want to say one thing about a prenup. I feel like a prenup is a good way for you to determine if the person, deal with long-term being married is serious. Because like you have your stuff written down. That's how you know somebody really with you for the money. Like if you don't have a dime and then you accrue wealth as a result of you being married with that person, your funds, your money will be protected. But if you don't have something put into place, you can really see someone's true intentions. Like they could be coming after you. Like in Ray J's situation, hopefully he gets stuff situated, but you'll see first, see how it is. He's done. Stick a fork in him.
I know for one thing, he ain't had no prenup, and number two, Ray J be doing the most. They gonna hit him. They gonna hit him with that.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And he got a kid involved too, so you already know.
Dad too.
Okay, let me see again. So we already know how the court is when a man and a kid in a divorce. Yeah. So I pray for the brother, but we see.
You gonna pray for him, kid?
I gotta pray. Listen, no, because we're honestly black men are losing their wealth in divorce. That's why we need to have prenups. But once again, we know women ain't gonna sign no prenup because they figure they're gonna get cut out.
Who was the lady who was actually losing in their money?
Aisha Tyler. I love that story. That's my man. I don't know how he worked that. He must have known the judge. Because I don't know how the hell he got her to pay. I don't know how he pulled that off. And Sheldon Williams, too, former basketball player. He made Candace Parker pay. I don't know how he pulled that off.
But hey. So you're celebrating black men doing it?
No, I'm educating black men. They need to go really look into prenups. Especially when, I don't know.
We were shouting them out 2 seconds ago. Shout out to that man.
No, I don't understand how their agents do not tell them, listen, who are you with? Go sign a prenup if you're going to get married. I don't know why they don't tell them this. Because it's undercutting their money too. Even though they're going to say, oh, I'm getting my 10% anyway. I'm like, dude.
Love.
Ain't, no, that's simping. I said it. Listen, we knock men here too. I know I don't do it often enough for you. I will try in the future. For the summer, I will knock men more. I'll do it for you. Because I got to go after Diddy. Diddy pissed me off.
Leave Diddy alone.
No, I got to go for Diddy. I'm
He
gonna
make
wait
me
because
laugh.
Andre Harrell just
Talk
died.
about the black
I'm gonna
vote.
give him 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna go after him because of the dumb thing he said. But
He funny.
back to preference. He another one too because he like to.
All right, kid, come on.
Oh, before we go, last thing. Skin tones. We got to talk about that. I almost forgot about that. Y'all hate it when we go for specific skin tones. Stop it! Don't you look like that? Don't you look? Because you hate it when we do that. You do.
You need to lean back.
You need to do that. I will admit we are dicks when we do that. We are dicks, and we are pretty for a dark skin girl. We are dicks when we do that. So I'm going to apologize on behalf of the fellas. We're going to try not to do that no more. But how do y'all feel about that? I just want to know before I give a heartfelt apology.
So you mean within the black community?
Yes.
y'all
We're just
go.
going to keep the last question is going to be just about the black folks.
So come again. So who you guys go for? Be clear when you say a particular skin tone. Meaning
We usually go for a lighter skin tone.
Oh,
And on the women's side, I have heard them diss dark-skinned black men, saying you too dark.
I disagree. I've noticed this trend. Usually light-skinned women get with dark-skinned men, and then dark-skinned women get with light-skinned men. It kind of balances itself out.
Right.
So
Well,
I
one
know
side
that,
don't like it.
well, some don't like it either way.
Right.
But I'm indifferent to it.
Mhm.
Again, I guess it becomes one of those things where it's why only this? So like, well, my babies will come out light. Well, if my husband's dark, so my kid is darker than me. I already understood that was going to happen. So I have a preference, and he can't have a preference because at the end of the day, your child's still going to be dark. So to me, I don't know what they're looking for. So I'm indifferent to it. I say you do you be with who you want to be with. Some people do have a type, and I guess it happens to just end up going that same way. But sadly, I'd have to say if I looked at my husband's ex, I somewhat look better. I do look better than her, of course. But, I'll just say this. We somewhat are similar in ways, in some features. So I think some people just do have a preference. I've seen people get with other people. I'm like, that girl looks like the last girl he was with. So
I heard that before.
Mhm.
Where you dating the same person, but they're
Yeah.
not even related.
Yeah.
Okay, fellas, quick advice. I heard this years ago. If you're gonna cheat on your girl, cheat with someone opposite of what she looks like.
I heard it a lot. It
Don't
was
cheat
like,
at all.
Right.
I go down that road. See now, Nikki, I'm not looking at you because you're mad at me right now because I said that.
no, Kristen wanted all the smoke. She told you, man.
Well, she from Texas. That's all they do.
I ain't.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
That's fucked up. We gotta have you come back because I want to talk about this Aubrey thing. I want you to come back
Oh,
because you down there in them states with the.
I need a drink before that show.
You down in them states with the open, so we gotta talk.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's gonna be
But
interesting
back,
because I'm ready to.
It's on you.
I feel like, everyone has their preference, but you also too have to look at, they may have dated a specific complexion before and you're like completely different. But if that's who you want to rock with, complexion wise, do your thing, whatever makes you happy. But me personally, I don't have a preference. As long as you do right and you don't waste my time. That's like the biggest thing.
Would you date an alien?
No.
You said you didn't have a preference. Would you
No.
date an alien? Because
You
you know
know
aliens
me.
exist. You know aliens exist. Aliens
Listen,
do exist.
This is a
I'm a
the
pass on
wildest
that
question you ever asked on the show, kid.
I listen. We
You
have to
dated
ask these
alien?
questions.
The benefit of it, I could see, things in outer space, but I don't know about an alien.
So you do have a preference. They have to be Earth-based. They have to be Earth-based.
Yes.
So you are a preferences. That's not even a word. I just made it up.
I know
Her
you did.
preferences. So
I
she
remember-
does have a type. You see that? You can't be green.
That is funny. It is. I remember going to the car dealership in December to get a car, and the sales guy was getting on my nerves.
Yes.
Talking back and forth with me, and I'm just like, dude, okay, told
Get
you
the car. So I got the baby with me. Just give me the car. Let me go home.
I told you which car I wanted. Just give me my effing keys. Let me sign this
You can
paper,
cuss.
and I'm out.
Wait, you can't cuss because Nikki said you can't cuss.
So he goes back and forth, forces me to pick another car, and blah blah blah.
Because he wanted more money on the commission.
And then he asked me, "So what are your standards? What are you looking for?" And I give typical Nikki answer. I don't have any standards. He said, "Hold up, you need to have a standard. Hold up." It was a Volkswagen dealership, and I wanted the Atlas. And he said, "So if I give you the Beatles, would you take it?" I said, "No, I wouldn't take it." He said, "See, you have a preferences." I said, "Yes, I would take any Atlas on this lot. Give me the damn." I mean,
He wanted to put you in a Beetle.
he was just trying to have me upgrade to this new package deal, and I was like, "Dude, no, I'm not signing this." And I walked out. And sometimes, I'd never done this because he pissed me off to a point where I'm like, if I stay here, I'm gonna cuss you out, which I don't want to do because my mother's here. So I'm gonna walk out. I said, "Mom, come on, let's go. We're leaving." And then we out, and then the GM came. But coming back to standard was funny because I told him I don't have any standard, and when he said, "All right, get the smallest car on the lot," I said, "No, I ain't for the bigger truck." He said, "See, you have a standard." So, Nikki, yes, you do have a standard. I can't be an alien. So that was funny.
Not question. I don't know if I should ask this.
Exactly. If you think that hard, kid, please save it.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay, word it right then, or try hard.
Has there been a preference for the same sex? Does that count? I just want to know before we leave.
I think some
Oh.
I want to
chicks-
ask intelligent.
I'm gonna make myself.
I usually ask women, and they lie. I don't know.
How do you know that lie?
They lie. Come on. I feel this is what I feel like. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like every woman has a lesbian thought every
You
other.
always push that shit on every.
I think it's true.
Not every single woman. Generalization. What I tell you about? Don't do that.
I said I think it's true. At least I said
I
every
think
other
all
day.
girls like some girly ass girl that just look just like them.
But that's what I'm saying.
They can
But y'all
be-
say y'all don't like that.
They can play and then
I find some men handsome. I ain't gonna do nothing with him, but I'll be the first time in. Dude is handsome. He look better than me. Nothing wrong with that.
That's fine.
Y'all had a lesbian thought. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
Nikki won't answer that for sure.
I know she won't.
No,
It's
I
fine.
haven't.
Okay.
No, I haven't. But I think that what I value a lot is if someone is that way, that they live in their truth and they're comfortable enough in their skin to be like, this is who I am, this is how I am. You either take it or you leave it.
Damn.
Correct.
Ooh.
Well, she from Philly. That's all how they talk.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's what true.
But all Philly people aren't me, though.
I got yelled at
Philly
again.
people-
Y'all straight talk though.
I got
That's
yelled
one
at
thing.
again.
Everybody in Philly would put the foot down. I mean, even a 2-year-old,
Yeah.
like I'm like, yo, you too, back off.
What I tell you the other day, nigga, I told you your whole town is tangible. I told you this.
They're tangible niggas down there.
Yeah, they're tangible down there. That's why I don't go to Philly like that. Yeah, I like Philly, but
That's probably why they
y'all
moved the
screwed.
capital away from Philly and brought it to DC. That was too
Listen,
tangible for the
don't
president.
do that. They hate y'all. I think. That's just me.
Yeah.
But yes, closing thoughts, ladies.
Come on, Kristen. What's your preference? You thought we'd skip on yo?
And you down in
I know,
Texas.
I
And
was
this
like-
chick,
Nah, she was
and
the-
this
she
chick
was
got
hoping-
never quiet. The whole time she's talking, and then there's one answer. She's like, maybe
She's
I
like,
hold
wait a
this
minute.
one
She's like,
in.
wait a minute. She's like,
Maybe I hold this one in.
Is
Go
that my
ahead.
kid? Wait a minute. Is that my kid?
So I had a stint with a female a long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
and she was Hispanic.
Mhm.
And I feel
She's
that
in
I am
Texas.
being
Don't even
biased.
think too much about it, Rose. She's in Texas. Don't think too much on it.
Okay. I was gonna say. They got no
I
black
mean,
chick around you there.
I don't know. Like I feel like I am being biased. Like I guess if it, I mean, I feel like that was a moment in my life, and I'm like, okay, I embraced it, and I got it out of my system or whatever, you know. And I think at the time when I did that, yeah, I did have a preference. I knew I didn't want a white girl. I knew I didn't want a black girl.
I wanted a Hispanic girl, if that
Oh,
makes
why?
sense. I don't know how to explain it.
Wait a minute. Why didn't you want
She
the
wanted
white girl?
tacos.
I
That's
always love
racist.
tacos.
That's racist.
He said
That's racist.
she always loved
That
tacos.
is racist.
That was a joke. Can we joke?
That's racist. If you're gonna say that, you might as well say I don't want no fried chicken.
Well, no, I'll tell you this.
Come
Just
on now.
the girls that were where I was.
Wait. Well, no, don't give away too much information.
Yeah,
Maybe
just
we'll
where I
troll.
was. I felt like, okay, I'll be the black one in the relationship. That's so weird to say, but I know.
What?
I know.
I'm going to
I love
wait a minute.
Kristen.
I put this
I love
down. I was
Kristen.
about to take a
It
shot.
was funny.
I'm
She said,
put
"I be
this
that
out. She
one,
said, I
baby."
want to
I'll
be the
be the
black girl
one.
here.
Yo.
What does that mean?
I don't even
Shut it.
know.
It don't
but
mean
I was like,
nothing.
I'll be
Hang
that.
on,
I
Rose.
don't.
You know what that sound like? That sound like that thing I told you about what Claudia Jordan said. I feel dark skinned at heart.
Shut-
She said
Oh,
it. She
Yeah,
said
she
it. I
funny.
swear to God,
That's
she
why he
said
got
it.
on her back on Twitter and started chasing her until she even responded. I'm like, why are you talking to this fool?
that's hilarious.
Who says this?
I don't know. It was just that was
Some
my
people say
mentality.
that.
I got to go back with, if I'm gonna think back to that period that was in my head. Now I was still young, so
All right.
Okay.
I don't know.
Check bucket list, check. Because
Yeah.
that's what I look at it. It's just like,
Bucket list. That is.
Have you ever had like that thought process like before in any of your other relationships, or was it just like that one relationship where you thought like I'm gonna be, that this person in the relationship?
I haven't had that any shit because
Okay.
even when I was with my firstborn's father, I never thought that. I just was like, we're two people. I hate when people say they don't see color because you see it. Embrace it. I'm proud of being
Right.
black. And I never wanted people to feel like I wasn't proud of my race. I just was very like, it doesn't matter. And this is another hell. I'm helping increase the black race because now, my son he sees himself as black. He's going to end up making that whole lineage that was white back in the day black. So at the end of the day, what's so wrong with that? But I've never thought that ever. It's just that one time. Maybe it's because I was a female. I don't know. Well, I mean, us both being females, I don't know. But I just know in that time period, just the idea of being with a white female to me was a no. And being with another black female to me was a no as well. So I guess I lived in a small town. That's all that there was. It was black, white, and Hispanic. Me moving to the greater area in Texas, and I'm not gonna say specifically, but there's a few.
Please don't. They will troll you.
Yes, they will. Then I get more diversity where there are Africans and there's actually Asians and Indians and things like that. And so my mind was completely more open to just outside of so.
And I think that helps when you're in big cities. I think your dating preferences are a little bit easier to handle, but it's still scrutinized.
don't nobody care.
Like, whatever, you down in DC. That's all they do down there.
Do what?
All y'all do is swirl around. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
There's nothing else to do.
I know, because y'all ain't got nothing else going down there except politics.
Exactly. Who wants to be talking about politics all day, every day?
But that's how you get into the sack. But that's how you get the sack down in DC. What's your political affiliation? I don't like Trump. Oh, I don't like Trump either.
Like literally, that's how it started in the bar. So what? You're a Democrat? What the fuck? Like, I'm a person.
I'm just. Listen, not in this climate. Come on now.
That's funny. Well,
look how many people lost their jobs and their families because of that.
That's crazy. Yeah, something need to happen. It's election year, though. If you're listening to us, please use your vote.
Yes.
Check the
and please go to the
out.
polls. Do not do no paper ballots, please.
Because that's why we're gonna stay behind. Never mind.
Yes, no politics tonight.
We're not gonna announce the result because we're counting your ballot, but never mind.
Yes, that's your preference. And on that note, we're going to end because it's going to go left. Ça va fun.
Sometimes fun. So silly.
So before we go, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank the panel once again.
You're praying.
I'm going to allow them to once again promote themselves. So whoever wants to start, I will flip the coin. And I don't have one, so whoever wants to start.
You knew you didn't have one before you said that crap. Go ahead, Nikki.
So, Nikki, Move on Purpose. So I do freestyles, writing, poetry, music, everything. My main thing is to really help people to break free from toxic situations and relationships and move forward with faith and not fear, to move forward and do the purpose and that God has instilled for them. And if people want to have creative outlet, they can always come check out my content. It's Nikki G _ Moving with Purpose.
Okay. Miss Kristen, you are up.
All right, I'm Kristen. My podcast is Personal Problems Podcast. I just talk about kind of the personal problems that we deal with in life and how we can resolve it and work through it. My guests talk about that too, or sometimes we just want to wake your ass up. And you can just see me on Instagram, Personal Problems Podcast.
And Miss RoseGold.
Man, y'all know me already, man. You know, thanks for listening to us. Beyond Borders.
What if somebody from another country we ain't get yet hear you and they're like, who the hell is this?
Like Vietnam. Do we have somebody in Vietnam listening?
I have to check the analytics when we get off.
Okay. So it's at rose.goldDC. And I'm thinking of starting another show because this guy make me want to get some positive therapy. So I might start Bonsai Bites, where it's just more so 30-minute shows, quick, straight to the point about motivation, positive affirmation, and creative ideas. So we shall see, but come holla.
Yes. And y'all know me, Kid Gravity, the self-appointed agnostic coon. I do one half of Beyond Borders. And I also do my emergency shows where if I see something or some type of fuck shit, I will go and post off our regular schedule. So if you do see something pop up from me, make sure you subscribe so you can see the pop up. And you're like, oh God, he's about to go off. Just know I'm going to go off. And I'm also a screenwriter and now, unfortunately, an unemployed chef because I lost my job on Saturday, but it's okay. I still cook in the kitchen.
You were drinking on Saturday, boy.
I'm saying what?
You were drinking on Saturday. You got drunk.
Okay, yes. Folks, unfortunately, Saturday, circumstances were beyond my control, and I decided to drink before I did the show. And we were doing a Mother's Day show, and I had said some unsavory things.
And we did two shows. We recorded two different shows because you went off and crazy on the first one.
Yes, I did use the B word, unfortunately, and Rose did not like that, so we had to re-record it. If you want, I'm putting it up on the page so you guys can listen to it. Nikki, please don't listen to it, because then you might.
Yeah,
don't listen to it because listen to the one. Listen to it. Yeah, listen to the one. Listen to the one on Captivate, Spotify, iTunes, Google, Overcast, iHeartRadio, Stitcher.
Pretty much everywhere.
Yes, pretty much everywhere. We're everywhere like herpes. If that's your preference, herpes. I'm gonna make sure this is still working. But yes, folks, this was fun.
Something fun. So I'm gonna stop recording.
Not yet. One quick thing.
What you about to do?
No, I'm not about to do anything. It's just a quick announcement. If y'all see the video, Miss Rose is wearing one of our 2 new T-shirts. So,
you want me to stand up and model the shirt? Nope.
No, it's just the shirt with our logo in the left-hand corner.
We have something in the back too. It means that I have to stand up, show my ass, and show the back.
Well, you don't have to show your ass. Just take a picture later and put it on your thing. Jesus Christ. I mean, we might get more subscribers if you do that, but I'm not gonna pimp you out like that. Okay. Unless I do it myself and nobody wants to see me shake. But anyway, ladies, again, thank you for coming on. This was wow. I didn't even damn.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, damn.
Thank you.
Y'all did me dirty. It's okay. Oh, and ladies, I'm just going to warn y'all now. I do have the fellas coming to talk about this. So,
okay.
Y'all might not like what they say. Y'all might.
Like we scared, man.
I don't know, bro. This is fellas talking.
Zoom can take 100 people. Do you think you need to come back?
No, what I want to do is after they talk, maybe have everybody come on and then we compare notes.
This girl.
See,
Kristen.
she again, she's from Texas.
Yo.
We already got the AR lined
Yo.
up. We know this, which is fine. I got a brother. Hopefully, I can get the brother from Detroit because Detroit they be a little they a little slick. I like Detroit, but we gonna see how that go. But folk, we gonna go. Hopefully, this will be up quick. I think it might be.
Shut up.
No, you shut up. All right, go, I gotta go.
So I'm about to stop the recording, but then we can talk a little bit off air.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye,
That's all
y'all. I just said bye. Why
don't
you
move.
looking at me?
Don't go nowhere. Stay right here.
I just said bye because they about to see this and it's gonna cut off.
All right, peace out, y'all. And stop the video. Oh, no.
Who's technology challenge now? What the hell? I just saw Jesus. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What was that?